How are the winter workouts going for you?
They're tough. They're hard, but I'm getting through them. They're kind of fun, too.
How would you describe sort of where you are right now as an athlete and where you are as a football player versus where you think you could get to?
I don't think I scratched the surface. I think I'm I think I have a long way to go, which is exciting because I'm decent right now, but I'm just waiting for it to take off.
How would you describe? I'm sure you can answer all this stuff. I apologize, but you and Coach Johnson, how would you describe what you guys are like?
Coach Jay's my guy. Like I've known him for I think 4 years now. This will be the 4th year of me knowing him, so I've got a lot of trust in him. I think he trusts me, so we have a pretty good relationship.
How much of when you're playing for a guy like Coach Johnson, how much of it is the personal relationship and just what he's like as a person, and how much is it maybe knowing the guys he's taught in the past and the guys he's helped develop? You know what I mean? Like
it's all of the above. Like I don't. Like if you're playing for him, even so far just doing workouts and drills, like when he's watching you don't want to let him down. You don't want to be disappointed in you, so you're going to go that much harder. And knowing that he's coached some of the best D linemen at Ohio State, so you know he knows what you're talking about. So that on top of the fact that you don't want to let him down, it's just you go that much harder for him.
So through the recruiting process and through kind of him coming to Ohio State, can you describe what your relationship with Greg Madison has been, and especially since he's tied away?
When Coach Matty was at the team up north, we had a good relationship, a real good, and I love Coach Matty. Now that he's here, it's like Christmas when I heard he was coming. So I got 2 of the guys who I like the most in the recruiting process at the same place.
And then you mentioned like Ohio State got another coach from Michigan as well.
Yeah,
Washington.
Same thing with Coach Washington. Yeah.
In what way do you think they kind of impact this coaching staff? I mean, especially bringing them from Ohio State rival. What do they bring to this coaching?
I know Coach Madison. He's been around for a minute, so he knows a lot of football. He's good at what he does. And Coach Washington just has an energy about him. He's a young coach, so he's going to bring so much energy and just a different. I wasn't here before, so I don't really know, but I just know that he's going to bring a lot of energy.
Yeah, how much did you get to know them?
A lot. I know them pretty well. Yeah.
What kind of impact did they make?
What do you mean?
Like, do you feel like? Like, how did you feel in terms of their recruiting style? In terms of like when they came, like, did you feel comfortable with them?
Yeah.
Like, in what ways did they make you feel?
Just building personal relationships with me, talking about stuff that's not football.
So the coaches, when Michigan was recruiting you, who were the coaches that recruited you the most?
Those 2, Coach Matty and Coach Washington.
And which Ohio State coach recruited you the most?
Coach Jay.
Okay. So, like the 3 coaches that recruited you the hardest, all wound up
at the same place.
Is that, like, when that happened, were you like, what?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't believe it at first. I was like, what? But I'm happy. It's great.
Would it have been, if you had picked Michigan, it'd be a little different now, huh?
Yeah.
Like, it's like all your guys left.
Yeah.
Instead, all your guys came here. When you, and I know you talked about this, but when you made the choice, those relationships, the relationship with Coach Johnson, the relationship with Coach Madison and Coach Washington, how was that part of your thinking compared to all the other things that go into it, the school and the program and that?
That was probably the most important thing. That was probably the hardest part about like picking a school and knowing I had to say no to 2 of the schools that I like the most, is that the relationships that I built. So that was probably the hardest part, saying no and like kind of closing that door relationship in a way. But like I told Coach Jay, I get to continue that relationship, so it was just joy on both parts.
Great. So you had to close those doors and then open back up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you know this stuff was happening? Did you have any idea?
Nope.
What do you remember when you first heard Coach Madison and Coach Washington are coming to Ohio State?
I was like, that's dope. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you think those coaches being here makes your transition easy?
Not really, because I'm not really with them very often. Like Coach Matty is one of the D coordinators, and Coach Wash is with the linebacker. So I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll see them, but not as much as see Coach Jay or the training staff here.
Is it aid though being comfortable with
Kinda, yeah.
So watching you play in high school, what was it like being in the weight room in high school versus being in the weight room here?
It's just more intense. Like everything's faster paced, and everything was like in high school. we didn't really have, like, we had our workout on the board and we kind of went through it, but here, like, the coaches have the workout and they run you through it, so it's just that much more focus on your detail, and every rep's being scrutinized, and so you're gonna get that much better.
And this is true with a lot of guys at Ohio State. In high school, you were the biggest, fastest, strongest guy, right?
Yeah.
So then you come here, and there's a lot of big, fast, strong guys. What is that transition like? Does it motivate you? Like, hey, there's a lot of guys like me, or is it not scary, but is it intimidating? Like,
It's a little bit of both, because I know, like, everyone's good here, but it's I like it because I'm being pushed, like in the weight room, like guys like Coop and some of the old heads are there, like they were the same as I was coming out, so they're 3-4 years already in, so they're pushing me, and I'm, they're pushing me that much harder.
Did you know Jonathan Cooper and Luke Harrison before you came here? Being a local guy and being someone from Central Ohio? Have you talked to him since, as far as playing in front of their own family?
I talked to Coop once about it on the way home. He took me home, and he said he likes being close to home and all this stuff. But yeah,
I'm sure you've already been asked this a few times. What was the contributing factor to you coming to Ohio State?
there was a bunch of factors. The fact that, like I said, it was close to home. I get to play in front of my family, and my parents come to all my games, and my friends, and just the tradition of greatness at Ohio State. That was one of the big things that I wanted to be great when it's all said and done. And I know Ohio State, their greatness is you linked with Ohio State, so I know that if I put in the work, I'll come out and be great.
Zach, what do you envision for your first year? Sometimes it takes guys a little while to acclimate in that spot.
Like I said, I'm just going to come and work hard. When whatever happens, I'm not worried about playing time or this many snaps or this many sacks. I just want to work hard.
Does it help? I mean, maybe you don't view it this way, but you mentioned Chase and Coop and some of the veterans that are around. Like, Ohio State doesn't have to have you be a star right away.
Yeah.
You have time to, is that?
It helps because I can learn. They can help me. Like I said, they push me really hard. That's one of that's a plus from being here.
Zach, I know a couple of the guys that I've talked to so far have said that even as little time as they've spent here, the weight room's already made a difference.
Yeah.
Has it for you? And if so, has your weight changed? I mean, like, have you added 10 pounds to your bench? What's the difference?
I don't really know like how much my weight changed, but like one of the big things for me is like I wasn't flexible coming in, so just doing like the warm up and stretching like every day in the training room. That's helped like my flexibility and my movement skills.
Mat drills this morning.
Yeah.
I understand that the energy that Coach brings is sort of high.
Yeah, real high. Yeah, all the coaches they're juiced. It was fun. It was definitely challenging, but it was fun to compete and get out there and everything.
Okay. What about mat drills is fun? I mean, I've seen video. It doesn't look it.
It doesn't look fun. Like
it doesn't.
You gotta be kind of built different. Like it's just like to compete and to like get out here and work and sweat and all that grind. I enjoy that. It's fun.
Working with Larry Johnson, how's that been?
Good so far. Yeah. So far we only had a couple sessions because I just got here. He's been on the road recruiting, so it's gonna start picking up soon. But yeah, I can't wait to get with Coach Jay.
Would you be here if he wasn't?
I don't know. It's not, because that would change a lot. If he wasn't here, it would change the past 4 years of my recruiting, so I have no idea how that would end up.